And what of if it is used to provide low-income housing and water? That is from Elvis from Egbeda. The other one from Jacobs is, let me see, says, how much is the exact debt or loan of Lagos State government, foreign and local? Saying give figures. He actually thought I wasn't going to read his comments. He says, please, you have to ask, even if you will not read other comments. Would he and no, I will not ask the last question you just asked. You just said in Jacobs. Thank you. Okay, I think we can start by taking the questions. The first one, the first caller was about state police. You know, it wasn't so much of a question. The second one was of Ovaru, asking about security votes and what the state government is doing in legal structures and all that.
Should I go?
Yes, please.
Well, the first person, Elder Frank, I don't know, I'm not even sure he mentioned the agency of government that whose employee was responsible for this. But whether you have state or federal or local government police, you can never eliminate, you know, misconduct by individuals. These will be, you know, have by individuals. So right now we don't have a federal police and he complains about that misdemeanor. So we don't have a state police and he complains about that misdemeanor. Therefore, it's, if people do something wrong, it's not because, it's not a structural issue. Obaro, you know, blames illegal developments on the failure of, you know, the state. You know, it would take deploying all the employees of government on a 24/7 basis to police every nook and cranny of the state for illegal development. Maybe Obaro isn't aware that a lot of these developments, there is now an industry of people building at night when state officials are asleep. That's when they build, and then the following day they disappear and whatever, and before you know it, the structures have, you know, risen up. And then when government, you know, simply goes in to demolish, the government is accused of high-handedness, and you know, so it's a difficult situation. People can't justify, there's a law, you can't develop without approval. So you can't justify your breaking the law by saying that the officials should have been there to stop you. I just don't understand that argument. He says emphatically that the Lagos state government takes security vote. I don't know what authority he has for that. Unfortunately, this security vote thing, something on which there's very little understanding. First of all, there isn't such a provision in our whatever for something called security vote for a governor to take and put in his pocket. This is a carryover from military, governance. So I can tell him that in Lagos State we don't have that. Okay, so unless he has. We don't
have the state government giving security votes, or we don't have the state government, pocketing the security votes.
We don't have the state governor taking any amount of money monthly and putting in his pocket, calling and call security vote. Our budget has provisions for expenditure on security, and that is spent on security. Okay. It's both directly, whether it's in buying equipment or providing operational and logistical support to the security agencies. But the concept of every month the governor taking some amount of money, putting in his pocket unaccounted for, and calling security vote, that's not, there isn't a vision for that, even in the case of Nigeria. So there's something that most people really don't...
are not aware of or don't know.
Yeah.
Stephen says the first term, he's also
yes,
learning.
Again, this is just, the way people just, when you keep repeating the same thing, you just, over time, you like to believe, believe it. First, let me begin. The most, for me, the most outrageous thing that Stephen said was, says Lagos is a beautiful woman, all you just need to put makeup. And I don't say this because I've been part of the team, but I think that And the reason I want to speak to this is because very shortly, in a few months, it will be time for Lagosians to make a choice again about who governs Lagos. Stephen's argument seems to suggest that it doesn't matter who you pick to govern Lagos. Lagos will rule. Lagos is on the roll. But I don't think that, the facts justify that. And if people believe that, then I fear that they may end up entrusting this to someone who cannot. Lagos has a potential to be great. Just like Nigeria, even before independence, has always globally been acclaimed as a country with great potential. That potential has not been translated to, real, greatness. So to suggest that, Lagos is simply, whatever, you can put anybody and nothing, things will just happen. It's not borne out by the fact of previous experiences of governance in Lagos. He says in the second, he has not seen much. The truth about it is that in the first term, of the governor, there was a focus on what you call low-hanging fruits. There are things that are, easier to get done with quickly, and you get done, and then you move on to the more difficult things. Maybe he's not aware, for instance, of all the money that is being spent to build a rail system for the, for the state, and you may not, because it's something that is work in progress. If we didn't build that rail, we're not putting money in that rail system that is now work in progress and you didn't see it. If we deploy that money to just building roads, you'll have seen many roads everywhere built, and you'll be clapping for the government. In terms of, the future of Lagos, this is the only city in the whole world of this size that does not have, a rail transit system. It is not sustainable. We cannot build our way out of the traffic by building more roads and putting cars and buses on it's not possible. And so we've got to, invest in things like that. We've moved from not just building hard infrastructure to also building, what we call the infrastructure of the mind. The Lagos-Badagry Expressway is a major, project that, that is going on. It's not going to finish overnight. There is, for the first time since, in over 30 years, we're building a major waterworks for Lagos, what is called the Adion 2. That waterworks, that waterworks is costing 60 billion naira, and then you need another 70 billion naira minimum projected for the reticulation. That's what's going to, be a major, changer in